These foods are trying to kill me. If you are going through menopause like me and you have not been able to eat certain foods that maybe you were able to eat before, this video is definitely for you, because my body is not able to metabolize or digest or just take in foods the way it used to without fully hurting me, without fully just coming back and telling me, oh, no, no, honey, that is not happening. So if you've ever experienced that, come along, let's talk about it. And I want to hear what food maybe has betrayed you, what is a little different for your body and for your needs now that you are a little bit older, or that your body's changing, even if it's not menopause, whatever that change is. But I'm not saying that these three foods were actually ever particularly good for me, or maybe they're not particularly good for us to eat anyway. I'm not a dietitian, so I don't know, but I will tell you these three betray me now. Number one, sugar. There are people who are salt people, savory people, and there are those people who are sugar people and always like to have a sweet treat. I'm here to tell you right now, I have nothing against savory food, nothing against salt, but I will tell you that any day of the week, I will take a sweet. I don't know what Windsor's preference is, but I will always take a sweet. My mother is pushing 90 years old, and for as long as I can remember, she would have a cookie in the morning. She'd call it a biscuit. It's very cute. But a cookie with coffee with sugar in it. Sugar, sugar, sugar. I cannot eat sugar the way I used to. My body doesn't digest it the same. My body doesn't appreciate it the same. I feel inflamed, and my joints hurt more, and my stomach hurts more. And these are things that you don't realize and you don't think about, or at least I didn't realize or think about when I was younger, and I would just have a sweetie and it was just satisfying and just felt good. But what I will say is, it took me a long time to figure out that's sugar. My body is reacting this way, and that's sugar that's doing it to me. I didn't really think about that because, again, I had sweeties all the time after dinner. I was never really big on having it in the morning, but regardless, when I had it, it would be fine. I'd eat a little sweetie after dinner, sometimes even after lunch, and then I'd move along and I'd be fine. But now I absolutely cannot do that. My wrists hurt, my stomach hurts, my back hurts, even my neck hurts. And my body's like, no, absolutely not. You're not doing that. And if you're going to try to do it, I'm going to show you. And for sure it does. So not until I got a little older and got into this menopause stage did I start doing a little bit more research and realizing that it isn't inflammatory. It's really bad for you. I mean, again, that's not rocket science, right? You can figure out that having sugar is not good for you, but in excess, right? I would think, well, if you're going to have it all the time, if you're going to be eating it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the time, then it's bad for you. I don't think my body wants it at all anymore. And the only way that you really know what your body wants, what your body needs, is to start experimenting, cutting it back, maybe having it only after dinner instead of after lunch and dinner, having it once a week instead of having it every day, something like that. And then you can kind of figure out, pinpoint exactly when you're having it and what it is that it's doing to your body. For me, I don't think I'll ever fully give up sugar, but I will say I've cut it back tremendously. I have my times, I'm weak, I'm human, and I have my times where I give in and then I pay for it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm walking up the stairs and I'm like, are my hips hurting for no reason? Yeah, it's not for no reason. It's because you decided to have, a big piece of chocolate cake last night, Liz. Let's be serious. So the sugar is for sure something that I need to limit, and something that I think we should all think about as a way to reduce any possibility of diabetes, our inflammation, a million other things. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that cutting back on sugar is probably a really good idea. I'm certainly doing it. Number two, the food that betrayed me that I love is bread. Bread, why do you hurt me so? I don't have a gluten intolerance. I'm not allergic to any of the ingredients in any types of bread that I know of. But when I tell you, I feel bloated, I feel icky, I feel heavy, and I feel like I'm hungry an hour later. 2 hours later, like ravenously hungry when I have bread. And now I do know that there are different types of breads, right? Some of them are more complex carbs, and they have the like the grains and the nuts and all of that in them. They're great and they're tasty and I love them. And do they process better in my body? Yeah, absolutely. But they still don't feel they still don't feel great. When you have white bread or you have an Italian bread or you go to a restaurant and they put out those dinner rolls that taste like heaven. We were just at Disney Springs last night and they have these rolls that are covered in like this honey sauce, and I don't even know how to describe how delicious they are. They just taste like a ray of sunshine just touched your table. That's how good they are. However, they hurt. They hurt my body. They hurt my stomach. So I did not even touch them yesterday because I remember how much my body didn't enjoy them last time. But that's just bread in general. My body is just not enjoying it the way it used to. I won't even have a sandwich anymore for the most part. Again, I'm not a never person. That's just not who I am, because I just don't think it's realistic. This lake is beautiful, but bread really is it's just been betraying me. Look, Windsor wants to go for a swim, and if I let him, he would swim everywhere. Windsor, on the other hand, will eat bread. He loves bread. It's terrible for him. So I've told him the same thing. No bread, buddy. But bread is one of those things that your body either digests it properly or it doesn't. And I don't necessarily think it's not celiac disease. It's not a gluten intolerance that I know of. But you listen to your body, right? I know my body. My body's saying absolutely not. We're good. Let's not have that big piece of Italian bread because you are going to pay for it later, babe. So simple carbs and those types of things. I used to be able to digest them very, very differently. Times are different now, honey. Menopause hits different. And the third food that has betrayed me is dairy. Now, this one kind of took me for a little bit of a loop because I've always had dairy. I am an ice cream junkie. Like, I live for ice cream. Ice cream is delicious. Going back to the desserts, when I would have dessert at night, ice cream was always my go-to. Part of that was the sugar, obviously, but the dairy just in general, even a yogurt, even milk, lactate-free milk seems to help. But I've never been a big milk drinker anyway, specifically. But I do love ice cream. I do love yogurt. Cheese is glorious. And I will say sometimes I can have cheese without any issues, hard cheeses, those kind of things. But I think it's just the way it's processed. They're all processed a little differently, and the ingredients are a little different, and hard cheeses compared to soft cheeses, heavy cream compared to lactate-free milk. I mean, it's all a little different. However, dairy is just not really agreeing with me. My body's like, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to do that. So the three foods that I used to be able to eat without even questioning, without even thinking about it when I was younger, are turning their backs on me. So now I've had to readjust and rethink about the way I eat, the way I food prep, the way I order when I go out to eat, right? So I can get a salad and I won't say no dressing and no cheese at all, but I do have to be wary of, are they big chunks of cheese? Is it going to have a very, very creamy based dressing that's going to kick my butt later? Are they going to bring bread to the table that I'm going to be so tempted by that I wouldn't even think about until they put it down on the table? So these are just things that we need to think about as women, listening to our own body. It's not about what's the most popular diet fad or what are people saying, like, oh, go keto, or, I don't even know what the other diet fads are, but these are things that you have to do in order to be healthy and, have a long, healthy life. But what it really is about listening to you. Every person digests food differently. We are able to metabolize it differently. We're able to burn it off and use it as an energy source in a different way. So start doing little social and science experiments on yourself. If you have a meal and then you don't feel good later, think about what is it that you had in there. Maybe green vegetables don't agree with you. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Green vegetables have never bothered me, and I think green vegetables are pretty much good for everyone. I don't know. Again, I'm not a dietitian. So if you're thinking about ways that you want to improve your health during menopause, maybe start looking at the food that you're eating and start doing little experiments to find the ones that work best for you, the ones that aren't working for you, and start to just incorporate the ones that are really making your body feel good. And if you don't want to give up your sugar and you don't want to give up those sweets, just have them a little bit less. So speaking of food, I think tomorrow we're going to talk about food prep and ways that you can kind of set yourself up for success at the beginning of the week or on the weekend so that you don't have to focus on cooking every single day and being tempted by the sugar, by the bread, and by the dairy. But let me know, what food have you embraced? What foods maybe have started to betray you? What's working for you in menopause and what's not? Thanks so much for joining me again today on Fab 50s Florida, and I will see you tomorrow.